Hey guys, I hope you're all doing awesome and having a great day so far. Today I'm going to talk about accountability, and we all need solid friends. Actual good friends are really hard to find, so when you find one, hang on to them because that's a really important and special thing to have. But how can we know if someone's a really good friend? So back in college, I went up to this waterfall in the mountains with a couple of friends of mine, and we were kind of switching out taking pictures of each other because there was only like 3 of us. So it was my turn to take a picture of the other girls at under the waterfall. So I get up on this rock in the middle of the pool of water, and they're over much closer to the waterfall. So I'm up there, they're posing for the picture, and then all of a sudden this snake pops up in between them with his mouth wide open. There was like maybe a foot of space in between them, so it was way too close. So I'm safely on the rock, sitting there shocked that this is happening, and they're screaming and diving away from each other and freaking out, of course. So all of a sudden, one of them, Lynn, she comes swimming over to me on the rock and shoves me off of the rock and climbs up on there to save herself and throw me in there with the snake. I was like, oh my gosh, real friends, right? But that went down as one of the funniest, most terrifying, backstabbing moments of probably our friendship. But even though she pushed me into the snake-infested waters, I knew she was a really good friend. But how can we tell if someone's a really good friend? So they're the kind of friend that tells you when you have a giant hole in the back of your pants or a piece of broccoli in your teeth, even though right now we don't really have to worry about broccoli in your teeth as much because a lot of us are still wearing a mask when we go out in public. So it's kind of nice you cover up half your face. But a real friend has your back. If you have those kinds of friends, be thankful because that's kind of hard to find. So Ecclesiastes 4:9-12, I'm going to read it. It says, "Two are better than one because they have a good return for their work. If one falls down, his friend can help him get up. But pity the man who falls and has no one to help him up. Also, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken." So basically, we're stronger when we're together. We need to have friends who love us, but who will also be honest with us and will tell us kind of when we need to hear the truth. So that's accountability. Being a yes man friend and always nodding and smiling and just agreeing isn't really being a good friend. A real friend would tell you when you're wrong. Maybe you've been a jerk this week. A real friend would be like, "Hey, is everything okay? I'm worried about you. You're kind of being a jerk." Holding each other accountable doesn't mean you have to tell each other every single time you do something wrong, but holding each other accountable means you love and care for them and want them to be a better person. And then also expecting them to kind of do the same thing for you when you're struggling or you're doing something dumb. So what are some ways that we can hold each other accountable? Maybe you're noticing that one of your friends is kind of starting to hang out with some people that are making some pretty dumb decisions, doing some bad stuff. A real friend would not just ignore it, but would just tell them to be careful who they're spending their time with, and would kind of maybe challenge them to step away from that group of people just because you can kind of see them going down a bad path. Maybe you struggle with cussing or saying some nasty jokes and stuff. Ask your friend to call you out when you start slipping up and you start saying that stuff. Ask them to hold you to a higher standard for the words that are coming out of your own mouth. Maybe you need a friend, or maybe you see a friend in student ministries post maybe like a not so good picture on Snapchat. It may be kind of awkward at first to say something, but be kind and caring, but maybe say something to them like, "Hey, I noticed this. I know that's not really who you are." Be bold in that. So we may say that, wow, we want to help our friends and be accountable and kind of keep each other, doing the right stuff. But accountability is not going and talking to other people and telling them how you saw your one friend screw up really bad. That's gossip. Accountability is going directly to the person and talking to them about it, not 12 other people. God, He's given us friendships for a reason. Let's use those friendships to grow closer to Him and to also just become tighter friends and grow closer as friends. Let's encourage each other and keep each other accountable because that's what we should be doing as Christians. So 3 things to finish up. Read Ecclesiastes 4:9-12 again. It's a really good thing to think of when you're looking for friendships and stuff like that. Call someone in your family that you haven't talked to in a while and talk to them with your actual voice and not just your fingers, and texting them. And as always, wash your hands. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll talk to y'all later.